Let me see if I can get this thing to pop on here. I don't know why I'm not seeing it yet. There it is. All right. Go to privacy. Go public. All right. Welcome to Common Sense. I'm Cap Brinkley. I'm joined here again with my homeboy Daniel Todd. We got a packed show ahead for everybody, covering some of Donald Trump's key picks for his cabinet and advisors. We'll also do some talking about the U.S. foreign policy regarding Ukraine's use of weapons against Russia. And then we'll do a bit about the arrest warrants issued by the International Criminal Court for Benjamin Netanyahu, Yair Gallant, and Mohammed Daif, who most people believe was already killed during the attacks in Gaza. We got about an hour to break all of it down, so we're going to dive right in. Here's the plan D. I'm going to introduce some picks, give some background, and then get your thoughts. Since we can't cover every single pick in depth, I'll highlight a few that stand out to me. Feel free to jump in at any time before we transition into the foreign policy segment. That sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, let's kick it off with Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is the senator from Florida. He's poised to become the first Latino to serve as the nation's top diplomat. Historically, Rubio has been a hawk, particularly on issues concerning China, Iran, and Cuba. However, recent reports from Reuters indicate that he has softened his stance and better aligned them with Trump's less interventionist approach towards foreign policy. Personally, I think America should not act as the world's police force. We got enough issues at home that we need to take care of. That being said, remaining neutral for too long, like we did in both world wars, can lead to major consequences. As for the Rubio nomination, I'm not overly concerned. In fact, I find some of Trump's other picks a bit more troubling, but that's just me. What do you think, bro?
I actually like the Rubio pick. He is someone who's vetted, been. I would say he's definitely the most qualified of some of these picks that we're getting here. He has a little bit of a backbone, even though he's shifting his gears and his stance more towards where Trump is. But I still think in his role, he's going to do a good job. Obviously, Trump wants a lot of yes man, and he's promised to be that. But I still trust that he has some backbone left in him. So I'm not going to knock this pick at all.
Me either. I'm not at all worried about this pick. Like I said, I have a few concerns with his views on Iran, especially with some of the other picks that we'll get in combined with his views on Iran, because I can see that popping off as a big conflict for the United States and for the world in general. Um, he has always been a true hawk on Iran, but Trump has a way of making these guys do whatever he tells them to do. So that being said, I don't know if you saw what they were talking about. The guy they arrested, who supposedly was sent by Iran to assassinate Trump.
Yeah.
Or they didn't arrest him, but I guess he got away. I'm not really certain. I just know they talked about a guy who was hired by Iran to take out Trump. In my opinion, it's kind of cover for what may happen soon with Iran. I believe at some point we will be going to war with them. What do you think?
There's without a shadow of a doubt, there's going to be a war with Iran, especially with what's going on in Israel, and like we're 100% behind Israel now. Like there's the ceasefire, all of that talk is completely out the window.
Right.
Unless something's done between now and January 20th, it gets a wrap, especially in Palestine. So they're definitely going to go all in on Iran without
Yeah.
question. That's coming.
Yep. We'll touch on a few more picks that are very hawkish on Iran too. But first, let's move on to Mr. Pete Hegseth. He's a ex-Fox News host and a veteran who served as a infantry platoon leader in Baghdad and Samaria. While his military background is impressive, I do have some concerns about some of his rhetoric and his approach. He's also been very vocal about ridding the military of what he calls woke generals. He emphasizes that these generals like to use diversity, equity, and inclusion. He's mocked transgender service members, and in a book, I think it was called "The War on Warriors: Behind the Betrayal of Men Who Keep Us Free," he wrote, and I quote, "America's white sons and daughters are walking away, and who can blame them?" He argued also that men and women serving in combat leads to unnecessary complications and ultimately higher casualties. Then there's the unresolved sexual assault allegations against him. While he settled with an undisclosed payment and law enforcement didn't pursue the case, the details do remain murky. Hegseth claims it was consensual, while the alleged victim disagrees. What are your takes on Pete?
Wow, misogynistic, sexual assault, white nationalist, MAGA pick, corn. I don't think he makes it out of the nomination process. I think he's going to be replaced like somebody else we're going to talk about a little bit later. But man, murky background. He is the white nationalist. You can't sugarcoat it. He is a
Yeah,
racist. He hates women. He hates people of color. He hates gays. He hates transgenders. He hates you if you are not a white male. And if you're a white female, you can at least sleep with him. Or he'll
right,
take it from you. And he's not going to
right.
ask you for permission. So that's the type of person that we have.
Yeah, and the fact that
Terrible pick. One of the
he didn't
worst
even
ones.
hide it. He literally wrote in the book, just in my opinion, saying what he said in that book is enough for most people to not pick him. But it's the state of what our politics have become. Completely one-sided to whatever that one person feels.
Unapologetic, but that's what people love, right? They love the
I think you paused out on me for a second. Yeah, it looks like you paused out for me for a second. Hopefully, D Todd will be jumping back in here in just a second. But yeah, like he was saying, man, it's the completely unapologetic approach to politics now. I mean, and it's the Trump philosophy that he's lived by, and just his entire career is that you say what you say, and you never apologize for it. There's no reason to apologize for it. You just say it and move on. And this pick of Pete Hegseth exemplifies that. He is going to be who he is, and we will see if he gets confirmed. Looks like I've lost D-Time for a second, but I'm going to move on to Robert Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, and I was hoping to get D-Todd's view on Bobby Kennedy before I gave mine, but since we lost D-Todd, hopefully he'll be back soon. I'll continue. It's a mixed bag. It's mixed feelings with Bobby Kennedy. He has said some things that are absolutely insane, and he's also said some things that I agree with. I mean, in America, we do allow big corporations to do whatever they want to do to our food. My fiance is very big on examining what's on the back of the packages, because you would be amazed if you take the time to read what's on the back of what we're eating. I mean, not only is everything packed with sugar, but it's packed with things that I don't even understand. I wish I could bring her on and she could tell you guys some of the stuff that I am talking about. I know one big thing she always mentions is this red 40. I don't know exactly what it is, but it must be a huge problem because everyone talks about it. I heard about these things in Doritos that we have more chemicals in Doritos than any country in the world. I mean, even in our cereals. So that part of Bobby Kennedy's pick for being the czar over health, I think is great. I think he can come in and actually change things. What worries me about him is his stance on vaccines. Now he does say that that he will not eliminate vaccines, that he will take a look and see what's going on with the vaccines and see if vaccines are causing things like autism and stuff like that. But what worries me is that he took a very hard stance on it during COVID. And as much as we say Donald Trump didn't do well during COVID, the one thing that he did do well was the vaccine layout, warp speed, because never in history has a vaccine been produced that quick. And that's one thing that I think Donald Trump didn't get enough credit for, was getting that. Hold on just 1 second. I believe D Todd is trying to get back in. I'm going to pause this for a second and see if I can get him back in. You guys just hold on, bear with me, and we will try to get things going again. Give me 1 second here.